am tired and I was gonna go to bed, but I was going back and forth and I was like, ew, we kind of want to play some video games. I feel like that's what I say in every intro. I talk about how I wanted to play video games or wanted to go to sleep and ended up doing neither and ended up doing tarot. But this time, I was like, I have something to do tomorrow. And I was like, oh, it's cool. I don't want to be up too late. So I'm just going to wind down the evening. I had like a spa day today. And I was like, I'm going to wind down the evening with some tarot. And then I can go play video games. And I happened to glance at the time as I was charging my phone up a little bit to do this reading. And it's 4 a.m. I'm not doing shit after this. But little people in my head insisted on a reading, a love reading at that. So we're gonna call this like a, let's do another spy on your person kind of thing. I was thinking like, do we, you know, love reading, what kind of love reading? And you guys know like the TikTok meme, the like, I'm an international super spy. I can't sing. But that was the one of the, oh, thank you, ones that came out. And I had that song stuck in my head as I was trying to like pick my decks. They also told me to use some decks that I don't use very often. This is, yeah. So there are going to be some new decks in here that you guys don't see me use very often. But that was their specifications. They were like, love reading, spy on people, spying on your person. And we also want you to use decks you don't use that often. I'm going to start out with 2 that I do so that I can get a good grasp on the energy and what's going on. Oh, that was fast. I expected to be shuffling way longer than that. And funnily enough, all of the decks that I'm using today are blue. So I guess this is special communication. Going just off intuition, I would say this is a communication for someone who's in a twin flame sort of kind of connection, twin flamey energy, probably separation, getting the energy of things that your person, because blue is communication. Angel of Truth is right there. Your person, you know, we're using tarot for your things that your person would love to tell you. I'm sorry, I'm always kind of choppy and still to the beginning of these. And I haven't had any caffeine lately. And caffeine is usually what I have to prep me for readings. Going in dry this time. I want one more card for the other side. Oh, not that deck. This deck. Oh, thank you. Not a constellation, hope. Not a boat, journey. So we're getting a lot of that twin flame separation energy in here. Okay. I have presence in reverse. That is also letting me know this is like a separation thing. You and this person are communicating, or probably, I'm gonna like not even say not communicating. I think you have no idea what this person is doing or up to outside of tarot. I think you have absolutely no contact or way to spy on them besides this. Maybe some other ways, but I don't think it's you know, not like, oh, we're taking a break but we can still talk, or it's like a gap in your relationship. I think this is really like you guys are not even in the same, like, you haven't seen this person for a while. Let me get something to drink. I need to look over this real quick. Gather my thoughts. Okay. So the overall feeling I'm getting, because when you do twin flame readings, things like that, it's usually from the perspective of the feminine looking into the inner thoughts of the masculine, because the feminine is the most likely to be watching tarot videos. That's kind of our thing. We do spirituality. So you have hope, perception, gratitude, angel of truth, fairies, law of attraction, solar plexus chakra, Earth Angel, and Goddess. And what all this is giving me is that your person is, with Journey, I think that you've been in the separation for a while with this person. And I think if they're hitting the point in the journey where, with Gratitude and Angel of Truth, I feel like there was a point where this person had their perception of you twisted, you know? Like, I don't think you did anything wrong, but if you're a suspicious person, let's just say that, if you're suspicious of other people and their motives, maybe you've been hurt in the past, maybe your person has something like borderline personality disorder, or something that mimics the traits of something like borderline personality disorder. It's almost like you can tell them that I love you, I value, I care for you as much as you want. And if they're in a headspace, there's a moth on the window. Oh, I wish I could show you it. If they're in the headspace where they think that everybody's out to get them, everything you do and say is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be like misconstrued and miscommunicated in their head. Filtered. There it is. Filtered through a lens of you being the bad guy. So I feel like that's kind of what happened in this relationship at one point in time, and it might be what led to you guys breaking up. Your person is finally getting into the headspace of seeing you as the blessing you were in your life. It's almost like with this Angel of Truth, they're starting to get clarity, like playing back memories of you. And maybe they'll play back a memory in a situation in the past and tell their friends about it and be like, yeah, oh my God, she, you know, they were such a jerk. Again, the feminine does not have to be female. But if you hear me use he and she, you know, someone who uses they, them pronouns, it's because I'm referring to the energy. But you know, like, they were such a bitch and they were crazy, they overreacted. It's like, maybe they've got into the habit of telling people about you in kind of like a mocking kind of way, kind of like, oh my God, like, look what this person did to me way. And now all the spiritual work they've done is kind of showing in the way that they speak about you. Or maybe they'll, you know, talk about something that you did in the past and start talking shit, and they start telling the story and they're like, well, actually, were they that wrong? Like, I mean, yeah, that was kind of messed up, but also, you know, they've always had kind of a good heart. And I know that they snapped at me that one day, but they did struggle with mental health issues, and they told me they were having a bad day, and I definitely pushed them. You kind of see what I'm saying? Like, they're starting to see, like, look, I have Earth Angel, Goddess, Law of Attraction, Solar Plexus, Chakra. This is all really good energy. With the Fairies card here, I feel like, they're starting to see, I feel like when you first started to date this person, you know, you're a unique individual, especially if you're the type of person that watches tarot readings, you're probably kind of quirky. I feel like when you first started dating this person, your quirks were very endearing, and then somewhere along the ride, the things they used to find cute and unique about you became embarrassing for them. You know what I mean? Like, maybe my partner, like, I don't know, sleeps with a stuffed animal, even though they're a grown adult. And that was cute when they first started dating you. And then, like, 2 years in the relationship, you meet their parents, and, you know, you stay the night at your parents' house, and they're, you know, like, oh my God, they like brought 4 stuffed animals, and your partner's like, yeah, that is kind of weird. They're kind of getting back into with the Fairies card, they're starting to see your idiosyncrasies and your quirks as things that make you beautiful. Like I said, I've Goddess and Earth Angel energy. It's like their perception of you is shifting in hindsight. And you may have noticed the same. If you have, you know, because if it's twin flame, I'm a little bit biased. But I'm going to go ahead on a limb and be like, if anybody's more wrong in the situation of why you guys are not split up, it's probably the masculine that needs to grow. So if you were also one of those people that was, you know, as people do, you know, replaying relationships, talking it out with your friends, explaining like, he did this in the past and that was really messed up, you may have noticed that you're having a hard time not rerouting your conversation back to how much you love the person at the end of the day. Like, maybe that story used to end with, oh, I can't believe him, yada, yada, yada. And now you're just being like, oh, that was really frustrating, but honestly, I just miss him. You know, it's like, if you've been doing that, it's because you're mirroring your person's energy. They're finally starting to look back at you and see your true value in a real way. Because I feel like in the past, they may have missed you and not understood why they missed you. You know, almost kind of like, they're like, oh, well, that person was toxic and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And like, I'm doing so much better without them because they were absolutely psycho. But, you know, I guess there's something wrong with me because I just really love them still, or I still want them to be around you. Now they're kind of approaching it from the angle of, I miss them and they were actually a good positive force in my life. And I do miss them. I miss the good things and there was a lot of good. You kind of get the difference between those two tones. It's a nuance, but it's an important nuance because that's a really big step. I feel like this person didn't even fully understand how deeply they felt for you when they ended things, and they continued to not feel it, and it started to hit them. Well, no. They've missed you the entire time. They are becoming aware that the feeling of what they've been feeling this whole entire time is actually missing you. Like, they may have been feeling like missing you the entire time. They did not know that that feeling was missing somebody. I hope that makes any sense. This person is not very emotionally intelligent. I'm just going to be frank. They probably have great emotional depth. They're probably really deep, complex, you know, interesting person. That does not mean that you know your own emotions. It's the difference. Emotional intelligence is the difference between, you know, you wake up, didn't get enough sleep, and you kind of make it everybody's problem. And, you know, genuinely think that other people are pissing you off more than usual. Emotional intelligence is someone that has a rough night of sleep, snaps somebody and goes, oh, you know what, you didn't actually do anything wrong. I'm just kind of grumpy. They have no idea about their own feelings. I find this really interesting because I had all of these cards like all mismatched, and I started to flip them all over. And I thought I had a second ago, I thought I had all of them upright a second ago. And then I got to this card, which is the Awakening card, which is unique in this deck. And that's very interesting that they had me use this deck. I haven't used this deck in months. This is the only deck I own that has this Awakening cards. But the Awakening card was in reverse, and I just had to consciously flip it over because I missed it. It was like alerting me to the fact that this person maybe was not spiritually awakened, and now they're becoming spiritually awakened. I also want to note that card is blue as well. That communication, throat chakra energy coming through. I have Sun, Six of Swords, Awakening, Emperor, and the World. I'm going to clarify all of these. It's really funny, just a little bit of like fun fact about how I do tarot. I know when I need to clarify a card because usually I glance at a card and immediately words start coming into my head. And I swear sometimes, like, even something as basic as the Sun card, which if you know tarot, it's a very easy card to remember. You know, the Sun, happiness, ultimate, you know, optimism. Sometimes I'll glance at a card where I know the meaning of it, and my brain is like giving me nothing. Absolutely nothing. So certain cards where I get immediate, it's like looking at a piece of paper or reading a paragraph, and there's certain blank spots that are like blocked off to me, and I know that I have to clarify that card. It's almost like they know what I'm going to assume with that card, and Spirit's like, don't jump to the assumption, wait for us to clarify. And I get nothing from that card until I clarify it. I'm trying to think of a really good analogy for it in real life, because I know that sounds really crazy, but you know, you ever want to know how tarot works? Okay. You ever want to know how tarot works for me? That's how it goes. Oh, okay, I see why they didn't want me to talk. Okay. Thank you. So they're kind of splitting the energy up into you and your person to like show what energies you're both in. And it's funny because they're kind of doing it in a sort of way that mirrors each other. Hold on. I want more clarifiers for this. I feel like we have the feminine on the top and the masculine on the bottom here. Oh, okay, that's too many. That's too many. But I'll keep the jellyfish there. And it's almost like a mirror image here that like this is you and this is how this person is experiencing almost the inverse or the opposite of it. But I'm going to go into that in a second. They're still not letting me talk. Thanks for being patient, guys. Hesitate to see what my battery looks like. Let me see if I can keep this quick. Opportunity. Cool. cool. Thank you. Base chakra. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome. And then I have the fairies card again. And I have jellyfish flow, woodpecker opportunity. And then give me two of these. Angel of Visions. Angel of Mercy. Interesting. Okay, so off the bat, I feel like the top person is you. So we have, you're doing actually pretty well. I don't think you were always doing well with the flow card here. It's like, I'm still staring at this moth that's been tap dancing on the mirror the whole time. A white moth too, ancestors. Flow is like, I described it as that scene in not Inside Out, in Soul, if anybody's seen that. When artists are in a state of just kind of like being in the present, focusing on the flow of whatever they're creating and not really being too technical, just kind of getting lost in the activity. You're kind of getting lost in life, living in the present, not looking too far ahead in the future or too far back in the past. You've got a good balance going of staying in the flow. I don't think you were like that previously, and I think that Mercury retrograde might have thrown that off for you, but you're stepping back into it. The Six of Swords, this card is always for me like stepping out of, it's like rising above conflict, because swords are conflict for me. It's like you're transforming into somebody that is learning how to preserve their peace, even when there's a lot of crap going on around them. Like maybe you felt the need to problem solve for everybody and fix everybody else's issues. You're spiritually awakened. With the Emperor card, I feel like you're almost giving me the image of like the map here, like you're seeing things from a bird's eye view, and how even when things look like they're a mess right now in your personal life, you kind of have this ability now to zoom out and see the big picture and see like it looks bad now. I'm getting the phrase, you know how some people say, something somebody very wise told me is that you can't heal something unless you admit that there's a wound there. So if you imagine if you have a wound that's not healing well and it's infected and yada, 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 and you have bandages over it, in order to treat that wound, you have to take all the bandages off and expose it to air, and then you can treat it. So sometimes when people are healing things, their issues will rise to the surface to be visible. It's almost like seeing somebody's worst qualities come on display in a short amount of time is like the best indicator that spirit can give you that they're healing it, because it has to come to the surface in order to be healed. I feel like you in the past might have been like, oh my God, why is my friend acting like this? Like she's always had an issue with this, but this is really bad. And now you're like zooming out and being like, oh, it's coming to the surface because you're healing that. You're learning that behavior isn't okay. And you're also seeing with this awakening your part to play in that. And it's like maybe in the past you would approach situations and be like, I know this person needs healing, or I know this situation needs to be resolved, but I don't know what to do. I don't know when to do it. And you're in touch with your intuition now. So you're kind of like the Emperor, like makes things happen. But I'm seeing you working in divine timing and knowing I'll know what to do when I get there, and I'll know exactly the things to say in order to resolve it. The World card gives me the same exact feeling. And then with the Angel of Visions, I feel like this is all very attunement to like your own inner world and psychic stuff, you know what I mean? Like really tapping into Angel Visions almost makes you think of dreams. And then I have your person. And they want another clarifier card before I talk, or as I talk. We have conflict here. Five of Swords, probably my least favorite card in the deck. But also with the Knight of Cups, I feel like this person, well, you're doing really well. I feel like your person has been surrounded by conflict for a very long time. But with the Knight of Cups, remember how I said that your person has been missing you this entire time, but they didn't know that the feeling that they were feeling was missing you? I feel like your person has been surrounded by conflict for a while and didn't know it was conflict. Like, I'm getting the energy of people that are not good for them, people that tear them down, people that aren't healthy for them, that don't have their best interests at heart, and your person may have had anxiety issues, not realizing that the actual issue is that they're very intuitive, and that is them feeling all the ill intent that's being directed towards them. With the base chakra here, because this is positive affirmative thoughts, and all that energy of, remember when I started and we had all those cards and I was saying your person was actually finally seeing your value and your worth? They are now noticing how many people they have around them that are not good for them, do not actually care about or love for them. And it is reminding them of how it is highlighting for the very first time exactly how much you stood out in a crowd of those people. They may have felt good around you and been happy with you and not known why, just maybe might have chalked it up. I'm getting a lot of them might have chalked it up to sexual feelings. You know what I mean? Like, of course I felt that way. Like, that was the person I was sleeping with. Like, of course I felt attached and happy while they're around. Who wouldn't feel happy in a relationship? It's like they tried to downplay your relationship. And that may be why you guys aren't together right now. But they're seeing that there was something more to it. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, my girlfriend was nice to me, of course I want to be around my girlfriend. It's, my friends are not good friends, and I had one person in my life that really truly cared about me and supported me. Ooh, I'm sorry, I'm getting really emotional. Your person's really in their feelings right now. And cared about me and had my best interests at heart and supported me and supported my dreams, and I pushed them away, or they're not. I'm not even getting I pushed them away. I don't think that they're there now. I think that's true, but I don't think that they're there now. I think that they're like, and now it's gone and it's taken away from me and I'm left with this. What do I do? And I want to say that, like, before you get too deep into however that makes you feel, because I just felt a big, like, crushing emotional feeling. I want you to know that without you in this person's life, this person would never have realized that they needed better. So the things that happened between you, were supposed to happen. Just getting that out there. But with the Knight of Cups, that's them finally seeing how much this hurts you. Maybe your person's been depressed or had anxiety for a while and they didn't realize that it was because they had crappy people around them. Same with the Queen of Swords. These are two cards of, like, emotional clarity for me. They're starting to get emotional clarity as to why they are the way that they are, why they react certain ways, why they're angry all the time, why they push people away, and it comes back to this conflict that's surrounding them, and it's constant. It's constant. I feel like, honestly, I'm gonna be real, I don't think that your person has a very good family. His friends or family, or whatever they would consider family, because some people have a friend group they consider family. Whatever they consider family is not good. It has done a lot more damage to them than good, and they're realizing that, and they're also realizing, they're, like, going backwards and looking at the way they've handled things in the past and realizing that they've chosen to handle things in a bad way because they were in a bad mental state, because they were surrounded by people that didn't care about them. And with the Hermit, they're drawing back from these people. I think that might have been the trigger, is that they were kind of like, I don't feel good, I need to be by myself. It's almost like they were sucked of all energy to be around people, because it was draining them, but they didn't know why. They were just kind of like, I don't even have the energy to go out anymore. I don't have the energy to go on family outings, yada, yada, yada. Let me, like, you know, be by myself, be in hermit mode. And being alone and being around those people is what made them realize, I feel a lot better. Okay, and then it's like they went back out to their friends and immediately were hit with a wall of negative energy. And it's like that back and forth has been going on for a while, of them cutting everybody out and being like, I just need some space and time. And they're starting to see the pattern that every single time I'm not around you guys, I feel great. And for a while, I think that this person chalked it up to, I just feel better alone. That might have been how they were going for a very long time, to be honest, going, I just don't like being around people. I'm better off on my own. And that was true until they met you. And you were the person that helped them realize, no, it's not everybody. It's these people. These people. And then we have Devil Energy and the Angel of Mercy. With this, I think they've gotten as far as realizing that they feel better when these people aren't around. I think with Angel of Mercy, they're still making excuses and apologies for the people that they love. I'm going to be really honest. I feel like the empathy that they feel towards you, that new empathy, that new, like, oh, but you're actually a good person deep down. I feel like your person's going through this thing where they're realizing, okay, well, my friends make me feel like crap. My family makes me feel like crap. My dad talks down to me. And they're kind of trying to apply the same logic to their toxic people in their life that they did to you, where they're like, okay, well, I thought that divine feminine was toxic once upon a time, and it turns out they were actually really great for me. You know, in hindsight now, I'm looking back and I'm realizing there was so much love there. So they're like, okay, well, right now I think that my parents are really toxic, but maybe if I give it some time, it's an angel of mercy, they're being merciful. Maybe if I give it some time, I'll reach the same conclusion that my family was actually really good for me all along. And know that, like, intuitively, that's devil energy. Intuitively, they know that there's a difference because their family never made them as happy as actually having someone that cared about them in their life. Their friends never made them feel that great. They're kind of like grasping for straws because they kind of know deep intuitively. See, the Hermit card is purple. That's intuitive. They know that they need to be alone and cut everybody off. Cut all these people out and build a better life with new people. It's going to take time. I'm going to ask you to be patient because they're just now realizing this. I think that losing you, because I feel like you took a lot of, with all the cards that I had before, I think the light worker card came out and the goddess card. That means that you, divine feminine, watching this, have a lot of ability just by being in a room to neutralize and harmonize a lot of the negative energy. So I feel like this person may have felt this conflict around them all the time, but then when you were around, it was like, you know, like if their friends are kind of suckish, you by nature, the person that you are, walk into a room with people with nasty attitudes and you kind of like start, I don't want to say people pleasing, but you start like organizing, de-escalating conflicts, and so it's not as bad. So understand that if you were still in this person's life, you would be, just by nature of being you, bringing the mood of a room up when you were in it. You know, like, I'm getting like the energy is someone that knows how to get people to stop doing kind of like being nasty and be nicer without like stopping the party and be like, hey, stop. It's like you're very gentle with it. You know how to like that Virgo energy of like being almost like a wedding planner, making sure everything goes smoothly. And even if somebody has an attitude, you're very, it's just you as a partner, you're very invested in keeping the people that you love safe and happy. And you know that if, you know, oh, it's the family's birthday party or it's your birthday party, you invited family or friends. If family and friends are being a little bit crappy, you were going to handle them in such a way that it never makes it back to your person. And your person never is any of the wiser because that's just what you do. So understand that you had to be removed for this person to even see how bad things were without you, because it's almost like while you were there, you were doing such a good job mediating and managing all the crappy people and telling them off in like a pleasant way that this person never really noticed the situation was that bad. They intuitively knew it, but you did a good enough job hiding it where they almost were able to convince themselves. We can keep going on like this. Like, maybe having my partner out with my friends is going to be a little bit tense sometimes. We can make this happen without them, without you there realizing like, oh my God, my partner was doing so much of the work, like mediating this crap. You kind of understand what I'm saying here? They're still being merciful. So again, I don't want you to feel like, my point there was that the separation is necessary. We're giving some context as to why you guys are separated, because this person needs to get these people out of their life for their own happiness. And if you weren't in the picture, if you were still in the picture, the energy would have never gotten bad enough for them to notice, because you're just so good at bringing love and light in any situation that you're in, and also boosting your partner's mood. And B, it's going to take time for them to figure this out on their own, because they're going through several stages. Understand that the amount of conflict this person is around and the people that are doing this, like I said, they're people that are family or people that they consider family. So it seems easy to you to just cut this off. It's not that easy to this person. Maybe, you know, if you got the light worker and goddess cards, you're probably really good. You've probably done your fair share of cutting off friends and family that are toxic, and you've probably done it and lost a lot of friends. I don't think this person is very good at cutting off people. I don't think they do it very often. You may have been the first time that they actually really fully cut somebody off for being toxic, which honestly, I'm getting feeling like that might have hurt. They have all these toxic people that they won't cut out, but they were very quick to cut you out. And now they won't cut them out. I understand that sucks. It does. It sucks. And it's not fair, and they're not right to do it. But I'm just asking you, if you want to be with this person, and I suspect that you do, you're gonna have to extend a little bit of empathy to them and understand that it's just not as easy for them as it is for you. When I've lost a lot of friends and cut off people that I considered family members, and the reason why I'm able to do it so easily at the first sign of somebody violating a boundary now is because I've done it before, and I know that when I cut off people that don't have my best interest in heart, the universe, you know, removes to replace it. It's immediately replaced with new people. But you only know that from doing it. So this person is genuinely scared that they're going to be all alone in the world. It's almost like they know that being by themselves is completely unhealthy. So they're seeing this as an option between have some kind of crappy people and then have that emotional, you know, it's some emotional contact, it's some social contact, or being entirely alone. And you have to also understand that this is coming on the coattails of pandemic, where we are very, very aware that what social isolation does to people, total social isolation goes to people. So again, I need you to extend a little bit of empathy to your person. They just spent a whole year being in the house. Well, they should have spent a whole year and some change, almost 2 years, in the house, isolated. And they're not aware that this is not going to make them even more isolated. The only way to learn that you make new and better people, you meet new and better people when you cut off bad people, is by doing it, and this person just hasn't done it before. So until they do, it's going to be terrifying. And I will be willing to guarantee, if you're like me, it was terrifying the first couple of times you did it. It's not like you did it once and you're like, okay, I'm fine now. In closing messages, because they're telling me there's not much to say. I don't want that card, actually. They're like, that's not the card. Let me see if I can turn this into an affirmation. The Ace of Pentacles in reverse. We're still getting into that energy of it being kind of like a financial drought for you, or whatever that means to you. Money just isn't coming in the way it used to. And I want to say that even though you know that eventually finances are going to turn in your favor. I'm trying to get this out exactly the way they want me to. Even though you know finances are going to turn in your favor, being conservative with your money in the meantime is still telling the universe that if you are frugal, if you aren't frugal, something's going to be wrong. It's almost like this energy of like true abundance comes in when you can spend your last dollar with the same frivolity as you would spend 1 out of 1,000. You know what I mean? The more illogical you are, the faster you manifest. Again, you may be like, you know, maybe you're down to your last $3 and you're like, I want to, you know, I believe the universe is going to have me, but I only have $3, so let me be careful with this. They're saying like the best thing you can do is spend that $3 as if you're going to get 3 more tomorrow. And that'll assure you that you will get 3 more tomorrow. The world is your oyster. Act like it. There's always more money to be found. You may have to get a little bit creative. You may have to ask for help, but the universe is not going to let you not have what you need. Release the idea that you can't live in luxury right now. You absolutely can. You just got to get a little bit more creative with it. Can I get a final card? I need 8 pull cards a lot today. Things don't happen to you. Everything is happening for you. What else is there to say? With that being said, talking about a financial drought, as some of you know, if you've watched this before, I do not take personal readings for burnout reasons. I'm still healing from burnout, which is part of why I no longer work as a tarot reader at a metaphysical shop. Basically, these videos are how I make my money. I don't do anything else. So I hope this helped you in some sort of way, and if you feel so inclined, I do have links for you to donate money to me. It's how I make a living, like I said. If you don't have the money or don't feel inclined to donate, which is fine, it is always appreciated, never expected. You can also help support me by liking, subscribing, sharing videos, sending it to your friends, all of that fun stuff. But like I said, any of the links below to places where you can support me financially are all below. Wow, I hate being a salesman. I really do. Capitalism, why? I feel like I was going to say something else. And I don't remember what it is, so it should be important. I hope you have a lovely day and you get some sleep, and that this helped ease your load. I hope you feel lighter after this reading than you did before. That's all I want for you. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.